Hi guys, welcome once again to my YouTube channel. I want to welcome all my new subscribers, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to cut a princess bustier dart. So I'm taking down the measurements that we'll be needing for this. So for clarity's sake, I'm going to be posting this measurements because I noticed that you guys can't actually see what I'm writing down, so I'll be posting it at the left hand side of this video. This is a step-by-step video. It is very detailed, so do well to pay attention and understand it very well, and don't fail to ask me any question that confuses you in the comment section. I assume that we already know how to take body measurement, or rather, if it still confuses you, I'll be dropping a video soon on how to take full body measurements. So guys, let's jump into this video. What we'll be needing for this video is a tape, a curve ruler, a scissors, and a marker. So that is basically it. So for the first measurement, we are going to take our vertical measurement. That is the measurement from top to bottom, and the first measurement we are going to take is the armhole measurement. In this case, it is 8 inches, so I'm going to go ahead and mark 8 inches. So I'll shift and also mark another 8 inches, so it will be easier for me to join the lines and make it straight. So next, I'm going to mark the breast point, which is 11 inches. I'll do the same thing I did for the armhole. Then I'll mark the under bust length, which is 15 inches, and then I'll go ahead and mark the half length, which is 17 inches, and then I'll also mark 1 inch seam allowance. So the next thing I'm going to do is to join all these dots, so the straight line can help us indicate where we're going to work with. So for clarity, I'll label the first one AH, that is armhole, the breast point BP, the third one under bust, that is UB, and the last one waist. This is our seam allowance. So it's time to take our horizontal measurement, and this we are going to place our tape at the center. This is our center, and we'll take our shoulder first. Our shoulder is 16 inches, and we'll divide it by 2, which is 8 inches. I'll trace it down so it will be easier for me to join. Next, I'm going to measure my bust. The bust that we are using here is 42 inches, and we'll divide it into 4 inches. I'm going to measure my bust at the breast point line, and I can as well extend the line later on to the armhole line. I just want to make sure that it is on a straight line. So like I said, our bust is 42, so when you divide it by 4, it's going to give you 10.5. And here I'm going to add 4 inches allowance at the bust. Then we'll measure our under bust round measurement at the line where we marked UBE, and the under bust measurement is 38 inches divided by 4 will give us 9.5. We'll go ahead and mark that. Then we'll add 5 inches allowance to this, Later on, you get to find out the reason why we added 5 inches allowance to this. Then next, to measure our waist measurement, which is 38.5 inches, divided by 4 will give us around 9.75. So we'll go ahead and mark 9.75 and also give 5 inches allowance, just like we did at the under bust. So I'll go ahead and join these dots. Sorry, at this point I had to fill my marker because my marker was not giving what I wanted. The lines are not coming out very well, so I had to fill it with ink. So next, we are going to measure our nipple to nipple measurement. The measurement we have is 8 inches, so divided by 2, it will give us 4 inches plus half-inch seam allowance to be 4.5. So I'm marking 4.5 inches. Sorry, marking 4.5 inches from the center. So I'll go ahead and join these dots to form a straight line. So guys, the next thing I'm going to do is to place my tape on the point where the under bust line and the nipple to nipple line that we just marked now meet. So I'll place my tape there, and towards the side of the pattern I'll mark 2.5 inches. Let me explain. This 2.5 inches is what will give our cup shape, and the measurements differs from bust to bust. That is what I just put on the screen. From 25 inches down is 1.5 inches that you remove. 36 inches to 40 inches, you remove 2 inches. From 41 inches to 45, you can remove 2.5. Then from 46 inches upwards will be 3 inches. But if we are removing 3 inches, that means at this allowance is going to be 6 inches allowance that you will put, because this thing that we are removing is going to shorten our allowance. That is why we are putting excess allowance. If this is confusing you, you can pause the video and look at the measurements I just listed on the screen. So just imagine removing 3 inches allowance and removing 3 inches from our 5 inches. Is going to remain just 2 inches, and at the end of the day we are still going to join this thing. So that is the essence of the 5 inches allowance that we put, just like I mentioned earlier. So let's continue. Then towards the center of this pattern, I'm going to mark 1 inch at the under bust line and half inch at the waistline. Then I'll still go ahead and join. So guys, remember I did my bust measurements at the bust point, so I'm going to extend this to the armhole measurement, so it will be easier for us to get the center of the armhole measurement. So that is what I just did. So I'll go ahead and measure from the shoulder to the armhole, so I can get the measurement of it. Whatever I get there, I'm going to divide it by 2. So in this case I got 10 inches, so half of it is 5. So I'll go ahead and mark my 5 inches. At this 5 inches, I will mark 1 inch upward and 1 inch downwards. I'm not going to use this center one. I'm just using these 2 lines. So each of the line I'm going to join to the points where the breast point and the nipple to nipple line meets. I'll do the same for the under bust and the waist. So watch me guys, and please pay attention to how I place my curve ruler, because this will make or mar your pattern. Like, the curve of the breast cup is really important, so that we will not have a pointed breast at the end of the whole thing. So these parts that I shaded are the parts that I'm going to take away. I'm going to cut it off while cutting. So notice that the part that I'm going to cut off, these 2 inches, if it goes out, our armhole measurement will reduce. So what we are going to do is to add these 2 inches that we removed to this line. We're going to extend it, so by the time we are joining, we will not lose any measurement. So we go ahead and curve it to the point of the allowance. So guys, our pattern is basically ready. The next thing I'm going to measure is the neck. For this pattern, I'm going to use 4 inches by 4 inches. So I'll mark my 4 inches depth and 4 inches by the side too. So I'll go ahead and join these lines with my ruler. This is to guide me when I'll be placing my curve ruler to get the round of the neck. So guys, I'll place my curve ruler and curve the neckline. So our neck is ready. The next thing, we are going to slant our shoulder. Next, at the first point of the armhole, I'm coming in by half an inch, which I will join to the shoulder, like where I slanted my shoulder to. So I'll join it like so. That part is going off, like I'm going to cut it off. So this is the last thing that we are going to do for this video. We are actually done with the pattern making. This is basically it. It might look hard at the beginning, but trust me guys, this is very simple. Once you master this pattern, believe me, you are going to always have a perfect scope. There are no two ways about it. So if you're still watching this video up to this point, I know it's because you're enjoying what I'm teaching you. So go ahead and subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and feel very free to ask me any question at all in the comment section. I'll be right there waiting to answer you. So I'm now cutting the pattern the way it's supposed to go. Please watch how I'm cutting it so you will not make a mistake. So guys, this is what our pattern looks like when we are done cutting. So this is how this is going to look like when we are done making it. I'll just join it with paper tape so that you guys can get it better. So guys, this is what our princess bustier will look like when we are done joining it on the fabric. Don't mind the fact that I used half of the paper. I'm actually going to put my fabric on fold while I'll be cutting it. Let's assume that we have joined it on the fabric. The next thing we are going to do is to cut off this armhole, like that excess that is remaining on the armhole. We'll trace it out like so. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to cut it off. But you don't need to do this on your pattern paper. You actually do it when you are done making the clothes, like before you put your sleeve. So thank you so much guys for watching this video. Give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.